About the end of an era, Yuveka, and I think a life well lived. A self-made man, a soldier at the forefront in the fight for economic emancipation, and generous both with his time and his resources. That is how the late business tycoon Richard Maponya has been remembered today. He started his first business during the apartheid years and came to be known as the father of black business. He was laid to rest at the West Park Cemetery here in Johannesburg today after passing away last week at a fabulous age. He was 99 years old following a short illness. Business reporter Rapiwa Madina joins us now to discuss the legacy. You were at the service today. As we said a little earlier, it was a poignant day today, a life well lived. How did it play out?
Well, you would have thought there would have been a lot of sadness in the environment, Jeremy, but there really was a sense of celebration and an appreciation of the man that graced South Africa with his presence for 99 years. So the roundup of the day was just some of the great memories by his children, his grandchildren, his colleagues, as well as some of his close friends and mentees, saying that this was a man that was never, ever afraid to try something, and he never took no for an answer.
A sitting president, an ex-president, a well-known television presenter, talk show host of many years ago, and Mangosuthu Buthelezi. The stars were out today, yep?
They were out indeed. It was amazing to see the support that Richard Maponya received and the influence that he had on these people's lives, Jeremy. So it was a wonderful experience. But let's hear it from one of his closest friends and colleagues for over 60 years, Sam MOTSUENYANE, who had this to say about Richard.
He was essentially a self-made man who, like most of our earlier black pioneers, did not have the rare privilege nor the means to enter a business school to acquire business qualifications. He acquired most of his exceptionally skillful performance as an entrepreneur par excellence through interest and his passionate desire to learn and to want to become a noteworthy person in the world of business. And the government should really see that as part of its responsibility to unite bodies that can make a contribution to the development of the country.
All right, we want to hear what President Ramaphosa had to say about his legacy in just a moment. But before that, I think it's critical that we also reflect on some of the big business milestones, and there were many.
There were many indeed, Jeremy, and actually the relationship he had with his wife, which is critical when we speak about his milestones, is that she was the wind beneath his wings, that she was that inspiration that he needed through those decades. And it started with a milk delivery business in Soweto. They were using bicycles, which they accumulated to 100, and hired young boys to deliver milk throughout Soweto. Then he acquired a piece of land, which would be known as Maponya Mall. For over 70 years, he couldn't touch that land. Little boys and girls would play on the dirt, and then he was able to get the license to acquire.
He wouldn't let that dream go.
He would never let it go, and decades later, in 2007, that dream came to fruition when he built a mall that he said wants to be on the same level as in any country in the world. It could be picked up and put in any country, and it would stand firm against its competitors. And he did that. It's a mall with over 200 stores and caters for small businesses as well, Jeremy.
And that, of course, will be an everlasting monument and a legacy. Let's get back to the legacy if we can, and I think well portrayed by President Ramaphosa.
That's right, Jeremy. One of the big things that Richard Maponya fostered for was for education and skills. He said if there's anything that could bring South Africa out of its economic mess, unemployment mess, as well as to grow small businesses in South Africa, is to equip young and old people with the necessary skills so they can start their businesses. No one can ever take your skills away from you, Jeremy, and that's what he highlighted most throughout his career, and that's the biggest legacy that he's left behind. And also humanity. He was always able to take the call of a small business who wanted advice starting up, how to get funding. He never said no to anyone, and apparently till the age of 99 he read and responded to every single email without fail.
Let's hear what President Ramaphosa had to say.
He was a soldier, not on the battlefield, but at the front line of the struggle for the economic emancipation of his people, a struggle that endures to this day. He was a fighter for the liberation of black South Africans from the shackles of poverty, from the manacles of marginalization, and from the chains of economic exclusion. South Africa indeed has lost a visionary business leader who continued with his visionary talent right up to his last days. We have lost a most outstanding entrepreneur.